From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to spend much of this year continuing his globe-hopping quest to expand trade.
The Prime Minister's office seldom confirms trips months in advance, and summit plans can change, especially given the current geopolitical turmoil. But Carney is likely to visit New Delhi next month. India's High Commissioner to Canada told the Canadian Press last October Carney had been invited to attend a major artificial intelligence summit. Brazil's president said earlier this month that Carney had accepted an invitation to come to his country in April to talk trade. Other trips later this year include a G7 summit in France, a NATO meeting in Turkey, and the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Jason White, the Canadian Press.
Now, south of the border, where more protests and vigils are expected in Minneapolis. That's after a U.S. citizen was killed by federal agents for the second time in just 3 weeks. That man has been identified as Alex Preddy, a local nurse. ABC's Johnny Fernandez has more.
Police say the 37-year-old was licensed to carry a concealed weapon. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem called the shooting a tragic situation.
The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
But city officials questioned that account. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
A pack of dingoes found circling the body of a Canadian woman after her death on a beach in Australia is set to be culled.
A spokesperson with the Queensland government says rangers have monitored the pack since the death of Piper James, citing aggressive behavior. They say the wild dogs are an unacceptable public safety risk. Minister Andrew Powell says while difficult, euthanization is the right call. The 19-year-old from BC died Monday after venturing out for an early morning swim on a beach on Gari off Australia's east coast. Early autopsy results suggest pre-mortem dingo bites on her body were likely not her immediate cause of death. There was also evidence consistent with drowning. Aaron Sousa, the Canadian Press.
Some of the coldest temperatures here in Canada this weekend can be found in parts of southern Saskatchewan. Officials there say the temperatures are ranging from minus 45 to minus 50 with the wind chill. Wearing extra layers if you're going out is necessary to avoid frostbite, which can develop in minutes. Meanwhile, residents in Nova Scotia will need to bundle up as well if they want to start digging out from the 15 to 30 centimeters of snow, which is expected to start falling later today. And finally, Japanese panda fans gathered today for the final public viewing of twin pandas at the Tokyo Zoo. Xiao Xiao and Lei Lei are set to return to China this coming week, leaving Japan with no pandas for the first time in half a century. China first sent pandas to Japan back in 1972, a gift meant to mark the normalization of diplomatic ties between the two wary neighbors. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, all eyes will be on the NFL Conference Championships today with a berth in next month's Super Bowl on the line. The Denver Broncos will host the New England Patriots in the AFC Final, while the Los Angeles Rams visit the Seattle Seahawks for the NFC Final. Today's winners move on to Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, with a shot at hoisting the coveted Vince Lombardi Trophy with a win on February 8th. There are 6 games in the NHL today, including a matinee in Toronto against the Colorado Avalanche. Elsewhere, the Vegas Golden Knights visit the Ottawa Senators, the Vancouver Canucks host the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Anaheim Ducks visit the Calgary Flames. Still on the ice, 2 games in the PWHL. The Vancouver Golden Knights take on the Seattle Torrent, while the Minnesota Frost face off against the New York Sirens. And finally, 8 games on the NBA schedule, including the Oklahoma City Thunder, who will host the Toronto Raptors. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.